What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the adult. All right, man, look. All right, man, look. I've been asked by a show business partner of ours, is Floyd Money Mayweather the biggest ducker in boxing history? You think I'm gonna climb that wall? Not hardly. Man, I think that's a tough question. A very complex question. Who did Floyd Mayweather duck? That's the bigger question. And I had a video about that maybe a few months ago. Who did he actually duck? Now, he fought them all. He fought, name them, De La Hoya, Diego Corrales, Cotto, Gotti, Hatton, Manny Pacquiao, Marquez. He fought the who's who, Sugar Shane Mosley, Canelo Alvarez. Floyd Mayweather fought them all. And I guess the biggest question isn't if he fought them, but when did he fight them? Now, when did he have these fights? Did he cherry pick the dates? Man, that's a good question. Well, a lot of those dates weren't his fault. A lot of the dates were the faults of his opponent. And a lot of these guys were already at a weight class and been reigning there for a while. So giving up their position to an up and coming Floyd Mayweather. And what I mean by up and coming, I mean moving up in weight. Now, you have Sugar Shane Mosley, who we know for sure, he ducked Money Mayweather. He said himself that he needed time before taking on Floyd Mayweather. And that was after the Vargas fight. De La Hoya did take on Floyd Mayweather, and he was beyond his prime a bit. But he did fight him at 154, choosing the gloves that he chose. He was the A side, and Floyd Mayweather, he had to comply. And Floyd Mayweather did. Now, there's a lot of people that think that Floyd Mayweather ducked people like Margarito, people like Paul Williams. Well, instead of fighting Margarito, he fought Ricky Hatton. Why? Margarito, he took a loss to Paul Williams. So Margarito was out of the conversation. So he took on Ricky Hatton, who at the time, undefeated, a fighter that everyone wanted Floyd Mayweather to fight. So he took him. Good fight, knocked him out. As far as Paul Williams, well, Floyd Mayweather was retired. And by the time that Floyd Mayweather came back, Paul Williams, he also took a loss, taking himself out of the conversation. And Paul Williams would soon move up. So he moved himself out of that conversation, being Floyd Mayweather's next opponent. So who did he duck, really? Oh my gosh. Now, some people would say Floyd Mayweather, he ducked Manny Pacquiao. Well, because the fight was so late. And Floyd Mayweather had his demands. Manny Pacquiao, there were a few things that he said that he wasn't going to do. We all know about the blood test. And who's going to be the A side, and if they're going to split it 50-50. I think that is worth the criticism. As fans, we were robbed of one of the most highly anticipated fights of all time. And because of those demands, and because Floyd Mayweather having the ego that he had, it caused for a huge delay. Some of the concerns he had, I think, were valuable concerns. How did Manny Pacquiao jump up those weight classes and become stronger? How did he keep his speed? How didn't it matter? Well, but if you look at it, comb through it, a fine-tooth comb, you notice he didn't really knock out any welterweights. Cotto, that was at a catch weight. He didn't knock out any welterweights. Ricky Hatton, that was at 140. Did his power really Did he keep his power moving up, or did he become stronger? If so, I think he would have knocked out more welterweights. He did, in fact, break Margarito's orbital bone. But I think you can do that. That's not too much outside of the realm of possibilities. But I do think Floyd Mayweather had a right to be concerned. But at the same time, because of all of his concerns, because of him being so critical, because of his ego being so big for it, as far as the negotiations, that fight was delayed. The timing was wrong. Did he duck Manny Pacquiao? I think it's worth the criticism. One fighter, though, that it seems highly likely that he ducked was Winky Wright. Man, Winky Wright, though he was a bigger fighter, they were negotiating, and it was Floyd Mayweather who actually called him out. And Winky Wright said, let's do it. And then that fight didn't happen, backed out of it. But I think Floyd Mayweather was under Bob Arum at the time, and maybe that has something to do with it. I know they weren't the best of buddies. Now, was Floyd Mayweather a ducker? Was he the biggest ducker in boxing history? Let's not be insane. Floyd Mayweather, he has a great resume. But I think the timing, when he fought those fighters, I think rightfully it should be under criticism. But Floyd Mayweather, he did play his part as being one of the greatest ever. And I think Floyd Mayweather was definitely concerned with keeping his record undefeated, definitely towards the end of his career. And I think that was his biggest concern. Now, I don't think he wanted anyone to have the satisfaction of saying that he lost anything. Do I wish Floyd Mayweather would have went about his career a little bit differently? Yeah. I think there's only one Floyd Mayweather, and what he did made him one of the most criticized and hated boxers of all time. And it's his fault. ShowBizz, the adult. I'm out.